All right, so I forgot to record audio for this beginning part. If you're watching this video and you're unfamiliar with cybersecurity 101, this is for my class on TikTok. This is going to be referring to my lecture 2 or my lecture 3 for week 2. If you want to go ahead and skip to the part where I actually start building out that packet, that network using Cisco Packet Tracer, you can go ahead. The timeline should be in the description below to go ahead and get you started. If you are a part of my class, one of the tools that we're going to be using is Cisco Packet Network Tracer, or Cisco Packet Tracer, I should say. And it's a very powerful tool. We are going to want to download that, and to find it, just go to Google, type in Cisco Packet Tracer. It's going to take you to the link that you saw in the video, and then from there, that link is going to take you to Cisco, and you're going to sign up for an account. That account is completely free. From there, once you sign in, go ahead and type into the search bar Cisco Packet Tracer, and that should take you to a course in which you are going to enroll in. And of course, that course is free as well. From there, you're going to download the tools needed. And yeah, I wanted this video to be like a complete showing of you downloading the tool and me taking you through that process. Unfortunately, I did forget to record my voice. So this first part, my voice is just annotating what's happening. But to give you a little bit more of a backstory, if you watched the week 2, lecture 3 class, then you should know that I created a home analogy, or I created an analogy to discuss with you certain terminologies within the networking space, right? So IP addresses, DNS, local area networks, wide area networks, switches, routers, multicast, unicast, broadcast, services, ports, and servers, right? I talked a little bit about all of those terminologies with you in that TikTok video. And now this is an opportunity for you to go ahead and that, create a topology to represent the terms that we were discussing in that class. And this is a very powerful tool. If you want it to be a network engineer or something of that matter, then this is definitely a tool you want to add to your repertoire. Um, I'm not a network engineer. I'm familiar with this tool just based off my own past experience, but I'm not an expert by any means. So feel free to dive into not only this class, but also other classes here on the Cisco Academy that are dedicated as free resources for you. If I were you, I'd definitely check it out. All right, so it's talking about download the Cisco Packet Tracer. I went ahead and I did that. Let me show you all up in here. So with this, let's go ahead and just run that, run that thing. We're gonna hit yes when it pops up for us. It's gonna give us this little dialog box right here. And let me get this out of the way with. And I'm assuming the answer to this is yes. Next, where should they download it at? Program files, packet tracer. Next, continue setup or create program shortcut. Next, create a desktop shortcut. Love the desktop shortcut. Yep. Everything looks good. Install. And again, this might go ahead and take a little second, but yeah. You might notice I changed hoodies. Mm. Hopefully this doesn't take forever. No, it's making some pretty good speed. What can you see inside? Why should I take this course? What if you could see inside of a small business or network for the internet? Let's see what this is saying. All right, it's finished. We can launch it. Would you like to run multi-user when application starts? No, I'm not a multi-user. I don't know what that is. I'm not a multi-user, so let's get started with Cisco Packet Tracer Lab. It's asking me. There are two ways to line up. Let's see. Does it need that though? I don't understand why it needs that, so I'm gonna have to come back and do more research on it. Networking Academy is how we're signing up. take this off screen real quick. No, you can't see my password. And even though it blocks it out automatically, I still don't want you seeing like the length of it, you know. This is cybersecurity class after all. Yep, J Pipe Paint. That's me. November 2005. Sure, I agree to provide more information about myself. No, I don't. Let's just say less than 1 year. Most of y'all anyways. Air count. I'm learning courses I've enrolled in. I'm not enrolled in any course. Really? Thought that was a course. Oh well. And honestly, does this really need to be a thing? I'm enrolled now, so let me in. Right? That's just the application. So let me in. Great. Yeah. It's asking all those questions like, oh, are you enrolled in something? Mind your business. All right, so we have Packet Tracer downloaded. It took all of 9 minutes. Hopefully, you guys were able to follow along and do that. Okay, so we are back in live in action. We got Packet Tracer downloaded, installed on our system. Now, the only thing left that I want to show is basically running that Packet Tracer application and also how to build a small little network that basically captures the environment we were talking about earlier on the TikTok side of the house, right? Where I was talking about, hey, I was introducing you to different terminologies, IP addresses, LANs, WANs, switches, routers, services, ports, multicast, unicast, broadcast, and things of that nature, right? So when I was talking about that neighborhood and how each neighborhood is going to be located within a city, that's basically like a representation of a land, right? And I want to show how to build something out like that. And I'm going to give an example here, but also I am not going to give out all information. One, because I don't know all the information, right? I'm not like a networks me, but I really want this to be a place where you can just learn how to start. And this is an excellent place to learn how to start because this Cisco Networking Academy is giving you all of this information for free. So the course that we're using right now to get started is getting started with Cisco Packet Tracer. So once you're logged in and everything, of course, the account is free, etc., like that. You can search for this particular course, right? You can hit Explore and then search for a course right here. And if you type in that Cisco, getting started with Cisco Packet Tracer, it'll pull that up for you. I can go ahead and click resume course. But I want to let you know they have tons of courses. So since this is the week where we're talking about networking, I'd like for you to get the networking basics whenever cybersecurity is discussed. And of course, you can do this on your own time, on your own, on your own time. But look at all these courses and notice that a lot of them are like free, right? Free, and it gives you how many hours. Is this one free? Find an academy. Let's see. All right, so maybe this one isn't free. But at least your basics of what you need, networking basics, that's going to be free. And that's going to be 22 hours course, self-paced, and everything like that. And if we look at the what they're willing to teach you, you got connecting, communicating in the world, network components, types, client servers, things that we talked about in our TikTok, right? Wireless and mobile networks, building a home network, right? Setting up a router, etc. So it's going to give you a lot of good information there. So I suggest you roll around in this academy when it comes to networking and figure out what exactly is going to be free for you. If you go through this module, getting started with Cisco Packet Tracer, they're going to basically show you how to develop like a little simple network. And I'm going to show you how to do the same thing real quick. So I got Packet Tracer set up. All right, so I got Packet Tracer pulled up. That's why I've changed shirts about 3 times for this video. All right, so I got Packet Tracer pulled up, and I want to talk about the scenario that I painted on TikTok, and that I also uploaded on the YouTube videos and that other playlist, that Cybersecurity 101 playlist for the TikTok things, right? So the scenario that I played along with, in order to keep up with that same analogy, I just want to paint that out here. First, I started off with some endpoints, And here you can click on end devices down here, and you can basically find the end devices that you need. And I basically said, hey, there are multiple homes with, I gave you the scenario of a city, and inside of that city, there's a town hall, and connected to that town hall are grandmas, and connected to those grandmas are individual people, right? So those people live at houses, but those houses are basically a representation of computers, right? That's something that we can all acknowledge. To keep up with that analogy, cool. So I'm going to pull out a couple of computers right here. I'm going to pull out, let's do something like this. And these are computers and this is a server, but just so you know, a server is basically the same thing as a computer, but it's a little bit more teched out when it comes to like having the specs needed to host a larger services like SMB sharing or dynamic hosting or things of that nature. So when I have two servers, I'm going to have a couple of different homes. So in total, right, in the servers in this example, if you remember, the homes represent the computers, right? Cool. Or the computers represent the home, I should say. And the servers in our example, our analogy, represented the schools, right? And the schools were able to give different services, right? Cool. So what we're missing from this are some grandmas. So let me go ahead and find the grandmas. So we got end devices here. Let me go ahead and switch over to network devices. And what I'm looking for, if you go down, is a switch, right? So we need 3 grandmas, right? Because each one of these things is going to represent a different local area network. So we got grandma right here. We got grandma right here. We got grandma right here. And then we're going to have to get a router as well. Now remember, the router is a representation of the town hall, right? So I'm going to grab this one right here, and I'll put that smack dab in the middle. So now we're going to start connecting things. All right, so if we look at the connections right here, you can use the automatic connection or you can use the copper straight through connection. When it's different devices from computer to switch, a straight through will work. If it's the same type of device, I believe you have to use a crossover. But remember, in our analogy, we said that in order for anybody to communicate on this network, they have to go through grandma. And that's how that works in networking. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and hook up the switches. And I'll use Fast Ethernet 1 to connect to Fast Ethernet 00. And I use Fast Ethernet 1 to connect to Fast Ethernet 01. And when I try to connect this one over here, Fast Ethernet 1 again, over here, I don't have any more ports to plug into. So I'm going to click off of that, hit escape to get rid of that connection. And what we have to do is add some more ports that way we can plug into. But first we'll have to, if you zoom in, we can't do anything yet because this router is turned on. So we first have to turn it off. All right, and then we're gonna click on this one right here, NM-2FE2W. And we can see it provides 2 more fast Ethernet interfaces. So that's what we need. We need some more interfaces. We're gonna go ahead and zoom out. And we're gonna drag this down here. We clicked on this, and now it pops up down here. So we're gonna drag it over to where we need it placed, which is right there. And then once it's placed in there, we're gonna turn that back on. All right, and then we're gonna hit exit to exit out. And then we're going to click on this straight through again one more time. And we're gonna hook up this last grandma, Fast Ethernet 1, all the way over here. And we got Fast Ethernet 10, right? So these two were, and I can go ahead and label these for you. So this connection line was FA 0/0. This one is FA 0/1, and this one is FA 1/0. Right? And if we click on that, we know that to be true. We can just verify that one more time. We look at the configuration, we see FA or FA, yeah, fast Ethernet 00, fast Ethernet 01, and fast Ethernet 10. See what I mean? Cool. All right. So with that being said, we have our grandmas connected to the town hall, or the switches connected to the router if you want to, whichever one you want to use. The next thing we have to do is connect our homes over to the grandmas. All right. So in order to do that, again, we're using straight through cables again. So fast Ethernet 00. And as you can see, we don't have to add any additional ports over to the switch or the grandma because they have plenty of ports for us to plug into. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna just start connecting, right, until it's one big happy network here. Mm-hmm. We wanna keep that going. Help, I'm still at the restaurant. I like that singing. I know y'all do. All right, we're just gonna connect everything up. Doo-doo. And as you can see, as things are getting connected, it takes a little bit for everything to propagate, but the greens are basically saying, hey, things are able to be talked to. So right now, these computers on the left-hand side, they're able to talk to each other through the switch, but they probably aren't able to talk to all of these other different local area networks, mainly because of draw an ellipsis. Can I draw an ellipsis right here? Let's see if I could draw an ellipsis. Oh, this is perfect. Oh yeah, this is perfect. So this is gonna help visualize things too. Oh yeah, that's great. That's great. Ah yeah, this is exactly what I want. All right, so let's go back. And if I label these, place a note. This is neighborhood A or local area network, a LAN for short, right? And this was neighborhood B. And it is also a LAN as well. And this is neighborhood C. And it is also a LAN as well. All right, so, oh, and this is the town hall slash the router. Let me go ahead and slash router. So we got a couple of things going on. Let me go ahead and label it a little bit more to go on with the illustration that I had from TikTok. So let's pretend this computer, right? This one is Mr. James, and this is Miss Claudette, and this one is Steve. And these, let's say this is school 1, and then this is school 2. And then let's say Miss Paulette is right here. Now we can label those other ones, but there's no need to, right? So we got a couple labels going on. We have an idea of what we want. The next thing we're going to have to do is, like I said, these computers can every computer within their own neighborhood, within their own LAN, are able to talk to each other based on the switches, but they aren't able to talk across the network yet. And you can see that by these little red dots right here. That's basically letting you know, hey, there's no connectivity across your neighborhoods through this town home. So we got to work on the town homes configuration table. All right, so in order to work on the configuration table, we're going to start giving each one of these computers an IP address. And if you want to carry it along with the analogy, we're giving the homes an address, right? So we know this is Mr. James' homes, right? We know this is Miss Claudette home, but what is their actual street address, right? For Mr. James, we said he lived on 131 King Street or 123 King Street or whatever. So essentially what we're going to do is first configure the router or the town home to have some subnets that we can work with, and then after that we're going to work on getting these all connected. All right, so you're going to click on the router. We're going to configure the interface, and I know this looks a little bit scary, but just follow along, type in the numbers with me. If you aren't familiar with subnetting, IP addresses, subnet mask, and things of that nature, type in the same things that I'm typing in, and then I'm going to leave some resources in the YouTube page below to get you a little caught up on subnetting. And again, this class is supposed to be able to show you some of the basics of what you want to dive into, right? So I recommend learning networking. This is just to give you like a little taste of what networking is about, right? And then use those resources to dive in further, and this will all make sense. Hopefully it's making sense now, right? So I'm going to type in ESET. I'm going to type in ESET. I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to type in enable, and then I'm going to type in config, conf, or config, and then T. And now I'm in a configured mode, right? So the first thing that I want to do is give this whole thing, or give this townhouse a name. So I'm going to call it Cybertown, right? And you can see the name change to Cybertown, right? So the first thing I want to configure, or the first thing I want to configure is going to be for neighborhood A. And we know that is interface FA0/0. All right, cool. So with that, I want to go ahead and assign uh, a gateway for this neighborhood. Basically, I want to give Granny, or the switch, an IP address to call whenever she doesn't know somebody and she wants to get in contact with that person, right? So IP ADDR, and I'm going to do 192.168.1.1, all right? And we're going to do a subnet mask 255.255.255.0. That's basically putting this in a class C. You'll learn more about this as you get used to networking and stuff like that. I'm going to hit enter for me, and then we're going to do a no shut. I want you to watch that green, this red arrow over here. It should change colors. All right, so it's pending. It's orange now. That's cool. So that's going to turn green soon. We're going to hit exit. And then we're going to do the same thing, but for each one of the neighborhoods, right? So we can see that we got some green action going on over there on the left-hand side. We're going to do the same thing for the other neighborhoods. So we'll go ahead and go into interface mode for FA01. We're going to assign this one an IP address of 192.168.2.1. This is going to be the second neighborhood. We're going to say no shut for that. Boom. All right, that's got some green going on. We're going to hit enter. We're going to hit exit one more time. And this time we want to go ahead and configure it for this last neighborhood, neighborhood C. We're going to say interface, and this one we know as interface FA10. All right, so we're going to give it an IP address or default gateway of 192.168.3.1. Same subnet mask, class C. We're going to hit enter. We're going to say no shut to turn on that. There we go. We're going to hit enter again, and then we're going to hit exit. We're going to hit exit twice, and we're going to hit enter. And then we're going to hit WR, which is basically to save the configuration that we just made. We're going to hit enter. And all right, building configuration, saving configuration. We are exiting this command line interface now, so we no longer need that. All right, so this is FA01. I'm going to put notes so that way I can remember what we did. So the default gateway for FA01, or basically the address that Granny needs to send packets she doesn't know the people into, is 192.168. My bad. I cannot. There we go. I did not mean to do that. All right. This is going to be annoying. Can I select? Yeah, select you. Delete you. Thank you. All right. I'm going to try this again. 192.168.1.1. And for the granny of this neighborhood, if she wants to communicate with the town hall, she's going to use 192.168.2.1. And finally, the granny in this neighborhood, if she wants to communicate with the town hall, she's going to send those packets to 192.168.3.1. And this is the interface that's going to be used for this router. But these guys in this neighborhood are going to know this as the default gateway, essentially. So now that we got that set up, the last couple of things that we need to do is make sure there's some interactivity from Mr. James, for Mr. James to be able to contact Mrs. Paulette, right? We want to make sure that they can talk to each other. So in order to do that, we need to go ahead and assign some IP addresses. And we're going to follow this scheme. Just follow along with me. Once you get a little bit more familiar, you can start doing your own thing. But for right now, just follow along with me. Click on your endpoint, click on desktop, click on IP configuration. We're going to be assigning static IP addresses. You have the option for DHCP as well, but we don't have a DHCP server. We do have a server, but we haven't turned on DHCP settings for it. So IPv4 192.168.1, we're going to start off on the fives. All right, so 192.168.1.5, hit tab, that's going to automatically fill in. Hit tab again. Now the default gateway is again the address where we're sending information if Brandy doesn't know where packets should go. So that should be 192.168.1.1 for us. There is no DNS server, so we're good there. All right, cool. That information is entered. You can just hit exit if you want to make sure that it's in there, just to double check. Go back to it, and you can see that it was saved. So you're good there. All right, so now we're just going to be configuring some IP addresses. I might speed this up. 192.168.1.6 tab, 192.168.1.1 tab, and we're good there. All right, same thing. 192.168.1.7 tab, 192.168.1.1 tab, and we're good there. All right, we're going to do the same thing over here. Desktop, IP configuration, 192.168.2.1. I'm sorry, .2.5 tab, 192.168.2.1 tab. All right, that's it up. Let's do. All right, cool. 192.168.2.6 tab, 192.168.2.1 tab, and we're good there. Set up. Now for the servers, I'm going to give them a higher IP address just to separate them a little bit away from regular computers, right? So I don't want to give them the same thing as like a school, for our example. I just want to separate it out a little bit. So, all right. So 192.168.2.30. Cool. Tab 192.168.2.1. All right. So we're good there. And then we just got to configure these bad boys over here. And we'll do desktop IP 192.168.3.5 tab 192.168.3.1. Cool. Close. Do it again. 192.168.3.6 tab 192.168.3.1 tab. Good to go. And then let's do 192.168.3.7 tab 192.168.3.1 tab, and we're good to go there. And this server, of course, we're going to give it an IP address as well. And we're going to say 192.168.3.30 tab 192.168.3.1 tab, and we're good to go there. All right, we're getting close to the end. I just want to show you a couple more things, and then we'll be done. All right, so remember when I said that the schools had different services that they were offering, like a web class for arts and things of that nature? For this example, we're going to have the schools offer just web classes, and basically that's going to be port 88 or HTTP. And the way that we're going to configure this real quick is we're going to go to services, and we see that we have this HTTP tab right here, right? It's on, and HTTPS is on as well, which is the more secure version of HTTP. We see a couple files inside of here, and we want to edit one of these files. We want to edit the main file, which is index.html. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to double click edit real quick. And really the main thing that I want to put here is just to show you a little bit about how this is going to work. So we're going to hit H1, and we're going to say cybersecurity 101 neighborhood B, right? Just to show a little bit of boom. So we're going to save that, overwrite that file, hit yes, save, overwrite the file. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're good there. We're gonna do the same thing over here. So click on that, click on services, click on HTTP, double click on edit, and we're gonna, underneath the body, H1, and we're gonna say same thing, cybersecurity, if I could spell, security 101, neighborhood C. So in the end result, we want our homes in neighborhood A to be able to reach this school in neighborhood C, and same thing about neighborhood B. And we want everybody to be able to have some connectivity going on. All right, so let's hit this little forward button right here a couple times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hit it 6 times just to like basically let everything propagate amongst each other. And what we want to do to start off with this connectivity testing, we want to make sure that everybody within a neighborhood can talk to each other. And then we want to make sure everybody within the neighborhood can talk to their router. And then we're going to do the same thing for over here and the same thing over here. And then finally, we will try to communicate with one another. So here we go. I'm going to do Mr. James, talk to the router. If you look down here, we get a successful. Cool. We're going to hit this button again. This is basically sending a packet, and that packet is how you test connectivity. Can Miss Claudette communicate with the router, the town hall? Yes, she can. All right. Can Steve communicate with the town hall? Yep, we're getting more successes. And then can Mr. James communicate with Steve? Yep, we got another success. And then can Mr. James communicate with Miss Claudette? Yep, we got another success. And then finally, can Miss Claudette communicate with Steve? All right, all successes. So I'm going to delete these because I don't need this taking up space. I wish I could make this bigger. I feel like there is a way to, but I haven't figured that out yet. So we're just going to keep on going past that. Don't mind me doing a couple things here. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is the same thing over here. Can this computer talk to the town hall? Yes, it can. We're good. Can this server talk to the town hall? Yes, it can. We're good. Can this computer talk to the town hall? Yes, it can. We're good. Can they talk to each other? That's a success. And this is a success. And then finally, can you talk to you? Yep, all successes there. So nothing to worry about. Cool. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Can everybody over here talk to the town hall? We're getting successes all across the board. This is good news. This means everything is connected and working as we expect it to. So that is great. Okay, that one failed. Maybe because I did it in backwards order. What's going on here? I'll come back to that. That was successful. Did I not configure an IP address for that one? Yeah, I must not have because it's not no, I did. What's going on here? 3.1, 255. What is going on there? Try that again. There we go. Okay, that's a success. All right, cool. And then can you talk to you? You can. Let me delete some of these that way I can actually see. Had me scared for a second. I thought I did something wrong. And can you talk to you? Yep, you're all good. And can you talk to you? Yep, I'm seeing some good things here. Can you? There we go. Can you talk to, just to make sure? All right, great. So it seems like everybody can talk to each other, talk to the router, etc. So now the real test is, can Mr. James talk to his sweetheart, Miss Paulette? We're going to see. Do we get a success? We got a success. So we have connectivity not only within the local neighborhoods, but we also have connectivity across the entire wide area network as well. This whole thing is a wide area network. I can zoom out if that makes you a little bit happy, right? And I can put this in an ellipsis if that makes you happier, all right? And then, well, let me do it like this. Yeah. So everything inside of that is a part of our wider area network. So let me zoom back in. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now that last part, the last thing that I want to do is basically just showcase a little bit on how, all right, so Mr. James, this computer has a web browser. We just proved that we can connect to different neighborhoods. So we should be able to see 192.168.2.30 was the address of our web browser. So if I hit go, well, cybersecurity 101, neighborhood B. And 3.30 was neighborhood C. Can I see that? Oh, did I not modify it? Or maybe I didn't save it. I could pull it up, so that's good. But I thought I put, I thought I edited that index. And I guess I did not. So we'll try that again. You guys saw it. Did I just accidentally click out? Cybersecurity 101 neighborhood. See? And then save that. Oh, and you see all these other services here: DHCP, TFTP, DNS, AAA. AAA is more like authentication stuff, but email, FTP, IoT, right? Radius, authentication stuff again. Like, make sure you are if you want to do some networking, be a network engineer. I know some of you have mentioned that network engineer would be a cool thing to be for your career. Make sure you are aware of what that is, uh, or what those services are. If I go back to this web browser, I now should be able to type in 192.168.3.30, which is again the school address for this one over here. I hit go. There we go. Cybersecurity 101 Neighborhood C. So this is more of a technical video for those who are interested. Like I said, there are plenty of resources here for you to get to learn the basics. I'm going to be leaving some links in the comment down below as well, so that way you can have an understanding of where to go, because this is as far deep as we're probably going to dive. I'm not an expert in network engineering, drawing topologies like this or anything like that. This is very beginner level, and I understand that if you don't know this, it may not seem beginner, but once you catch up on those resources that I put down below, you'll have a greater understanding. And yes, this is something that's important still if you're not going to be a network engineer, for cybersecurity folks to know, just to have a basic understanding of, okay, what is an IP address? How are computers talking to each other? What are switches and routers? Like like, let's demystify the internet, right? All right, so cool. So this is the end of this video. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below.